The greatest king in Hindu mythology never wanted to be king at all. Prince Rama of Ayodhya was hours away from his coronation when his own stepmother destroyed everything, not with poison, not with a blade, with two promises his father had made decades earlier when she saved the king's life in battle. Now she wanted payment. Exile her stepson for 14 years. Crown her own son instead. King Dasharatha had given his sacred word in a dharmic world. A king's vow cannot be broken, even to save the kingdom, even to protect the innocent, even when it shatters every heart in the realm. So the perfect prince who had never known defeat, never broken a promise, never failed in duty, faced his first impossible choice: honor his father's dharma and accept exile, or fight for his birthright and watch the cosmic order collapse. What Rama chose that day would echo through every Hindu heart for 3,000 years. This is the world where dharma ruled everything. Ancient Bharatavarsha, where kings were bound by cosmic law and princes chose duty over desire. Rama ruled the kingdom of Ayodhya, jewel of the Kosala realm, where the Sarayu river blessed the land and the gods themselves walked among mortals. His people loved him like the sun loves the dawn. His wife Sita was devotion incarnate, daughter of the earth goddess herself. His brother Lakshmana would follow him into the fires of hell. Together, they were supposed to rule a golden age. Instead, Rama chose exile, without argument, without anger, without a single word of protest, because dharma demanded it, because a son's duty to his father transcended even a prince's duty to his people. The kingdom wept. The gods themselves held their breath, and the demon king of Lanka, watching from his island fortress across the southern sea, began to smile. The forest changed them, not the gentle groves near Ayodhya where princes hunted deer and poets composed verses. The deep Dandaka forest, where shadows had teeth and every rustle promised death. Here lived the Rakshasas, demons who wore human faces by day and fed on human flesh by night. They had ruled these lands since the age of chaos, and no army of men had ever driven them back. But Rama was not just a man. Divine arrows sang from his bow. Each shaft blazed with the fire of Dharma itself, and where they struck, demons fled screaming back to whatever hell had spawned them. The forest sages, tortured for centuries by these monsters, fell at Rama's feet in gratitude. Village after village blessed his name. For 13 years, the exiled prince became the forest's protector, clearing evil wherever it took root. Sita gathered flowers and Lakshmana built their shelters, and for a moment, it seemed like paradise found. They had no idea they were being hunted. Shurpanakha arrived like a summer storm, beautiful, dangerous, and utterly without shame. Sister to the demon king Ravana, shapeshifter beyond compare, she could take any form that pleased her cosmic hungers. When she saw Rama in the forest, radiant with divine beauty, desire consumed her like wildfire. She approached in the form of a gorgeous woman, offering herself as wife, as lover, as anything he wished. Rama smiled and declined. He was devoted to Sita alone. Try my brother Lakshmana instead, he suggested kindly. But Lakshmana also refused. Shurpanakha's beautiful mask began to slip. If these princes would not love her, perhaps they would fear her. She revealed her true form, fangs like daggers, claws like scythes, eyes like burning coals, and lunged for Sita's throat. She never reached her target. Lakshmana's blade found her first, cutting away her nose and ears in a spray of demon blood. Shurpanakha's screams shattered the forest silence. Her humiliation would cost them everything. Revenge came wearing golden spots and speaking with a human voice. Maricha, the demon, had served Ravana for 1,000 years, master of illusions beyond mortal comprehension. At his king's command, he took the form of a deer more beautiful than anything in creation, golden fur that caught sunlight like liquid fire, eyes like pools of starlight, movements like poetry made flesh. He grazed just outside their forest hermitage, close enough for Sita to see, far enough to tantalize. Sita had never wanted anything so desperately. Please, she begged Rama, catch this miraculous creature for me. Something felt wrong to Rama. No earthly deer possessed such beauty, but Sita's happiness meant more to him than his own suspicions. He kissed her farewell and followed the golden deer into the deep forest, leaving Lakshmana to guard their home. Miles away, when Rama's arrow finally pierced the illusion, Maricha screamed with Rama's own voice, "Lakshmana, Sita, save me, the trap was sprung." The greatest abduction in history was about to begin. Lakshmana heard his brother's voice crying for help and felt his world split in two. Rush to Rama's aid and leave Sita undefended. Stay and let his beloved brother die. Sita made the choice for him. Go, she commanded. Rama needs you. Lakshmana drew a protective circle around their hermitage with the tip of his sword, blessing it with mantras older than memory itself. No creature of evil could cross this line while he lived. Stay within this circle, he begged her. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, do not step outside. Then he ran toward his brother's voice, leaving Sita alone for the first time in 13 years of exile. She waited in the sacred circle, her heart hammering like a caged bird. The forest fell silent, too silent. Even the insects stopped their chirping. Then footsteps approached through the trees. Slow, deliberate, patient. A holy man emerged from the shadows, old and bent, carrying a begging bowl and wearing the saffron robes of a renunciant. He smiled at her with perfect, predatory teeth. The beggar's voice was honey poured over broken glass. Holy Mother, he called to Sita, I have walked many miles and my bowl is empty. Would you spare some rice for a hungry sadhu? Sita's heart overflowed with compassion. She gathered food from their humble stores, but when she approached the circle's edge, Lakshmana's warning echoed in her mind. I cannot cross this line, she explained, but if you bring your bowl closer, I will fill it gladly. The old man's eyes flashed with something that was not human patience. I am sworn to receive alms only from the hand of the giver, he replied. Step forward, just one small step, and complete this act of dharma. Sita hesitated. Then duty won over caution. She stepped outside the circle. The moment her foot touched unprotected earth, the ancient sadhu threw off his disguise like a snake sheds skin. 10 heads rose where one had been, 20 arms spread like a peacock's tail. Eyes like burning rubies stared down from a height that blocked the sun. Ravana, the 10-headed lord of Lanka, master of the 3 worlds, stood revealed in his cosmic terror. What followed was not a rescue. It was the collision of cosmic forces. Rama allied with Sugriva, king of the Vanaras, the monkey warriors whose strength could shatter mountains. Hanuman, greatest of their kind, leaped across the ocean to Lanka in a single bound, found Sita imprisoned in Ravana's Ashoka grove, and set the demon capital ablaze with his tail. The Vanara armies built a bridge of stones across the sea itself, each rock blessed with Rama's name so it would not sink. When Rama's forces landed on Lanka's golden shores, the earth trembled. This was not mortal war but cosmic correction, Dharma marshalling all its power against the forces of Adharma. Ravana's demon hordes darkened the sky. Brothers fell, heroes died. Lakshmana lay pierced by the spear of Indrajit, Ravana's son, and only a magical herb from the Himalayas, carried by flying Hanuman, saved his life. The war raged for days that felt like years, until only 2 figures remained standing on the blood-soaked battlefield. The final duel lasted until the stars grew tired of watching. Rama and Ravana, Avatar and Demon King, the embodiment of cosmic order facing the master of cosmic chaos. Ravana fought like a hurricane given form, 10 heads chanting 10 different mantras, 20 arms wielding 20 different weapons, each blessed with power to destroy armies. Every time Rama severed one of those terrible heads, it grew back stronger than before. Divine arrows that could pierce mountains bounced off Ravana's skin like raindrops. This was no ordinary Rakshasa, but a being who had conquered the 3 worlds, who made the gods themselves tremble. Then Vibhishana, Ravana's own brother who had sided with Dharma, whispered the secret that changed everything. The demon king's life force lay hidden in his navel, protected by layers of Maya and cosmic blessing. Rama drew the Brahmastra, the arrow of creation itself. Gifted by the gods for this moment, he aimed not at the heads that regenerated, not at the hearts that could not be pierced, but at that one vulnerable point where immortality met flesh. The arrow flew true. Ravana fell like a mountain crumbling into the sea. Lanka wept. The gods sang, and Sita was free. Victory tasted like ashes. After 14 years of exile, after a war that shook 3 worlds, after the death of the most powerful demon who ever lived, Rama should have been celebrating. Instead, he stood before the wife he had moved heaven and earth to rescue, and spoke words that still echo through every Hindu heart. You have lived in Ravana's palace for months, he said, his voice hollow as winter wind. How can I take you back without proof of your purity? Sita stared at him as if he had struck her. This was not the Rama who had chosen exile over kingship, who had loved her beyond his own life. This was a king speaking, bound by the expectations of his people, trapped between his heart and his dharma. Sita's response became legend. If fire itself will not cleanse my name, she declared, then let fire claim my life. She walked into the funeral pyre they built for her, flames rising around her like golden flowers. The fire burned bright as the sun, hot as Ravana's wrath, pure as truth itself. And when the flames died away, Sita emerged untouched, blessed by Agni, the fire god himself, as the most virtuous woman who ever lived. They returned to Ayodhya as conquering heroes, but the trials were far from over. Rama ruled as the perfect king, bringing the golden age his people had dreamed of for 14 years. Yet perfection demanded a price no heart should pay. When rumors whispered again about Sita's purity, not because anyone doubted the fire test, but because kings must be above even the shadow of scandal, Rama made the choice that haunts every telling of this tale. He sent Sita away, pregnant with his sons, to live in exile once again. She raised Lava and Kusha in the forest hermitage of sage Vālmīki, who would compose the Ramayana itself from her tears and memories. Years later, when the grown princes appeared at Rama's court singing the very epic of their father's deeds, recognition struck like lightning. Rama begged Sita to return, to undergo one final test to silence all doubts forever. She refused. Mother Earth, she called. If I have always been faithful, receive me back into your embrace. The ground opened like welcoming arms, and Sita disappeared forever into the earth from which she came. Rama ruled on, perfect in duty, broken in heart, until the day he walked into the Sarayu River and returned to his true home among the stars.